For as long as I can remember, I've always loved stories. I like talking about them, writing about them, watching them, and even hearing about them. But unlike most kids, my favorite type of stories weren't about dragons, wizards, or magic. They were about everyday people. The characters in these stories never had out-of-this-world capabilities, but rather they had what every ordinary person has: a head, a heart, emotions, and problems to test them every step of the way. But even though I was cut of the same cloth as these characters, their lives were wholly different than mine, and that was the part that I found most intriguing. Everyone knows that reading is beneficial, nothing new there. It's a great way to develop your cognitive skills, be creative, and learn new information. However, there is one part to reading that many people tend to overlook: how it affects your emotional intelligence. I believe books have a special way of embedding key lessons and themes to readers that other sources of media don't have. There's something about not having an image in front of you, but rather only having the words to paint a picture in your head that almost forces one to pay attention and really grasp what is being told. And because of this, it's hard to overlook themes and learn lessons that you may not learn in other areas. And throughout my 16 years of reading, I've come to learn more about myself and how I want to approach my own future by reading about ordinary people placed in extraordinary situations. Over the summer, I was able to read a book called 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. It's a story about two generations of Afghanistan women who are faced with the harsh realities of being female in Afghanistan while being married to a tyrannical man, and how they form a bond of strength to get each other through life. The most surprising part of this book wasn't the cruelty of the Taliban or even how strong these women were, but rather what made me really sit down and reflect was how I could have easily been one of those girls. Yes, these characters are fictional, but their situation reflects those of women all over the world, not just in Afghanistan. When you read a book as profound as this one and experience the emotions of the characters, you're forced to look at your life through a different lens. You start to realize what you have when you see a possibility of a life that could have been yours. For me, I started to look at my life in a more holistic way. Suddenly, it wasn't about how many P's I'm going to take or the usual stressors kids in our area start to face. I started to say to myself, thank God for this education and for parents that believe in educating their daughter. Now, don't get me wrong. I still worry about things like that, but now I'm able to step back from these problems and feel grateful that these are the issues that I'm facing. I started to become more aware of the opportunity around me, the unconditional love around me, and the safety that I was at. And I started to feel gratitude. The fact of the matter is, you will only get to live your life and see the world through your own eyes. So, whether it be physically or through a book, try gaining as many perceptions as you can, and therefore, you'll be able to connect to various people and in the end, improve your own emotional intelligence. There are certain pieces of work, whether it be a book, a movie, or a song, that give you a lesson to hold on to. I urge each and every one of you to seek out these pieces of art and really see what they're trying to tell you and how you can apply it to your own life. For me, some of these books have been Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, a story about an immigrant family trying to find their place in America, or Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, a story about teens escaping Nazi Europe. These are the type of books that have you thinking for days and reflecting upon yourself. You feel like a different person after you finish reading them. They teach you much more than an ABC lesson, but rather they teach you how to be empathetic and give you emotionally receptive skills. Before I end today, I'd like to leave with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson that I once heard in an episode of Gilmore Girls. I cannot remember the books I've read any more than the meals I've eaten, but even so, they have name. The stories, the lives, the emotions that I've experienced about reading books about ordinary people placed in extraordinary situations has helped me grow in more ways than one. And trust me, you will be able to live 100 lives in just one by just simply reading. Thank you.